Welcome back, Dr. Rob here, as we are discussing prophecy in the end times. Uh, we're going to start looking now at the timeline. What is the sequence of events in terms of how the end times will go? And again, I don't know that we're going to know everything, but if we use Revelation as the picture on the box, I think that will give us some of the sequence. And of course, the other most important piece of scripture we want to use come from Jesus and his end time discourses in Mark 13 and Matthew 24, which are pretty similar but have a few differences among them. How do those fit? So let's have a look at Jesus' discourse. In Matthew 24, it says, Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him and called attention to his buildings. Do you see all these things? He asked. I tell you the truth. Not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. As they were sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Now, those questions are important because those are the questions Jesus answers. And so when we say, well, Jesus didn't tell us everything, well, the disciples didn't ask everything. So what are their questions? One, when will this happen? Meaning the fall of Jerusalem. He said that the temple's going to be destroyed. You have to figure they're kind of like, not again. Didn't we just have that done twice? So the disciples are now ready to say, when is that going to happen? And then what is the sign of your coming? So that shows some understanding that he's got to go and come back. And what will be the sign of the end of the age? And again, what age are we talking about? Well, that age begins with the resurrection of Jesus, some would say the ascension, and ends with Jesus coming back. Jesus answers those questions, but not necessarily in order and not necessarily in an orderly fashion. He bounces back and forth. And another reminder is that sometimes a prophecy can apply to the near future as well as the distant future. So let's see what Jesus says. Jesus says, watch out that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name claiming I am the Christ and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. All right, lots to unpack. First, many will come claiming to be Christ. We've seen that. In my time, it was Sun Myung Moon and David Koresh, but there's always somebody who thinks he's Jesus. There will be wars and rumors of war. I don't think we have to argue with that. Jesus was on target there. Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom is not only about state-sponsored warfare, but nation is ethne, so it's ethnic warfare. So you can throw in all kinds of racism and tribal hatreds in this category. Famines and earthquakes, natural disasters. I think we've seen that. Persecution of Christians. Most people say that Christians are more persecuted now than they ever have been. And so we can easily see that we are dwelling in the last days. This is what Jesus described, and it's confirmed by other New Testament writers. The next section refers to the fall of Jerusalem, where he says, flee the city and hope that it isn't in winter. And so he describes that there will be armies gathering around the city of Jerusalem. That happened in 70 AD. Jesus was right on target as a prophet. After that, he says this, for then there will be great distress, thlipsis megala in the Greek, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, or there he is, don't believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and miracles to deceive even the elect, if that were possible. See, I have told you ahead of time. So this passage follows the reference of the fall of the Jerusalem, for then, and it refers to all the time after the fall of Jerusalem. And it will be called a time of great distress or great tribulation. And this continues until the day of the Lord. And the day of the Lord is a recurring theme throughout the Old Testament, and we will pick that up with the next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.